Alright everyone, this is episode 87 for the opening round of Season 6. If you missed the pre-season episode uploaded last week, I recommend you go and check that one out before seeing this one, because you won't understand why I'm in the Mercedes. Now rival-wise, I didn't want to pick either of the Red Bull drivers, so instead I'm going to pick George Russell. It should be an easy rivalry, as he's in a backmarker Aston Martin car.
Hello, I see you found your workstation. My name is Pierre. I'm your man for all things R&D related, so get used to hearing a lot from me. Your workstation should be all set up and good to go, but if you've run into any issues, be sure to give me a shout.
We're not going to have any issues, Pierre. I mean, he doesn't sound French, but there we go. Because everyone's maxed out. And you can see there, no change from the preseason episode, flat line as well. Will we see anybody? I'm interested to see Aston Martin, because I think they've got more upgrades to come down there, just shy of 800 compared to everyone else. You know, I mean, the gap between, they can fit the entire grid between the gap between Haas and Alfa and Aston Martin almost. But yes, to Jeddah then, to qualifying for the opening round. Jeddah's been a good track for me on this game actually, so I'm hoping that, you know, if the Mercedes car's there, we can have a good race. But qualifying wise, first lap was P14, we now dropped to P15 coming through there, second for turn 1. Now we're trying to get the power down through this first sector. Isn't really where I have the overspeed against the AI. Through these corners, you know, I'm still losing time to the AI. This first section, I don't like it actually. It's very clunky, so I think they could do a lot better with it. But there we go. I mean, it doesn't really do much for racing either. The rest of the lap is actually fine. I like that little hairpin. Love the move around there on the outside is possible, and then we go through to these fast flowing corners where overtaking is possible. So, you know, if they've mended the first sector, it'll be actually a very good track. But anyway, 3 bit tenths up, but we have fallen to P17, as well as that second DRS glitch is still going on. 4 tenths up now, P18. Only the 2 Canadians behind us. Now, as we come down to the final corner, this is where I'm gaining time against the AI. To me, 4.5 tenths up, almost 5 tenths up on my previous best time. This is going to put us, hopefully, somewhere near, if not in, the top 10. And I think that was 10th place actually, that's a good start. You know, qualifying, as you all know, the AI get OP in qualifying, and the difference between quali and race pace as you go through the career mode gets worse. As well, without qualified our new teammate Dan Tickton, so you know, it's a good start. But we'll have to see what we can do in the race, see if we can get big points. It's time for the race, today's Saudi Arabia Grand Prix.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal, and it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. So let's take a look at a topographical map of the Jeddah Street circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Carlos Sainz and Gasly, Tsunoda, Hamilton, Magnussen and Phoenix, Vettel, Ocon, Daniel Ticktum and Albon, Schwartzman, Russell, Guan Yu Zhou and Mick Schumacher. Latifi, Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen, Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. And they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
So we are down the grid, P10. I have had people take grid penalties in the past in the opening race in the career mode, but not today. Race strategy, one stop, I think, from soft to medium. Opening round, we'll just follow the flow. Might look at the alternate in later episodes in the season. So 5 red lights for this opening round of season 6. And after a bit of hold, away we go. It's actually initially an okay start, the usual start there, with the AI getting the best second phase, and then obviously that third phase is where I am able to make the overtake with the top end speed. We have got Magnussen at turn 1, which is crucial. We don't want to be stuck behind him, as well as we've got Piastri and Sainz battling side by side, but Sainz stays ahead of the Australian in the Williams as well. Hamilton's up there as well. I mean, this is the highest Hamilton's been in a race for years. So we're going to go around the outside of Sonoda. I mentioned I was going to make that move in qualifying, and it's worked out an absolute treat. You know, this is one of my favourite moves. You know, if you've got the grip, it allows you to do it through this little carousel section as well. It's a lot higher speed than the Zandvoort one as well. Down the inside. Gasly at final corner. We're up to P7, so this has been a good start for us. You know, made up 3 places there. This is a typical move, but obviously no DRS just yet, so there's signs of promise, although obviously the Ford engine, we don't actually know what that is still really capable of only in its second season. Now we're looking past the Porsche engine of Hamilton and obviously Piastri. They will be quick and difficult to overtake as well. Meanwhile, a long way behind, our teammate Dan Ticktum it's his debut for Mercedes, his debut in F1, not raced previously. He is stuck behind Sebastian Vettel in the position that Hamilton was when he was racing for Mercedes last season. And I've already mentioned this as we track extend there. Yeah, that corner, it's just, as I've mentioned in qualifying, sector 1 is horrible. Anyway, hopefully we don't get a penalty for track extend, and we won't try and do that too much as we get close to Hamilton, but no cigar. But now we're going to be able to try and use a little bit. We haven't got a bit of overtake. We're not using the overtake to try and preserve that for the back straight, but nevertheless, we've dived down the inside of Hamilton, and we're up to P6. As well, so again, we didn't even need overtake to complete that move on Hamilton. There did try to apply the squeeze at turn 1, but I'm having absolutely none of it. As we can see, that is Norris and Leclerc going side by side, but Leclerc is able to get past. So I think Verstappen still leads. So I think it's a Red Bull 1-2. And indeed it does. Obviously this group are getting tight. Around the outside of Piastri at the final corner. He's still there though on the inside. I think we're going to have to lift off because we're going to coming in. Piastri isn't. That would be a nasty crash. We are going to close up to Sainz as we come into the pits for our one and only stop then onto a set of medium compound tyres. 2.5, not bad. I'd like to see better, but Norris just gets out in front of us, so a slower stop from McLaren as well. And we have jumped Sainz. So Sainz had a poor stop there, got held up, and we're now in front of the Spaniard through the pits. Now it's about whether or not we can get Leclerc or Norris, but we're not going to get Leclerc. We don't need to because his engine's given way. Ford have let a Red Bull driver down again. It's Verstappen at Brazil that cost him the chance of the championship, and now Leclerc has retired now. So that leaves Verstappen leading from Piastri, and then Norris and myself is the top 4. But the safety car, of course, is deployed. Sonoda's up in P5, so it's a good day for McLaren. They're going to rack up a lot of points on constructors. We have a little look at Norris, but then he bolts as the safety car comes in the end of lap number 8 onto lap number 9. But we're going to have the inside anyway of Norris, give him the space on the exit of turn 2, but we're able to power it through. We're up onto the podium. As well, here's a replay. I had to manage that there, not to go into the back of Piastri as well. Obviously, now we need to try and get past Piastri, make sure that we're close to him through the middle sector to get a good exit in the final sector and make sure we cancel out the speed difference. So we're watching the two Alpha Tauris having a ding-dong battle with, I think that's Albon in the background as well. Gasly and Magnussen fighting for 7th place, best the rest really there as well. Now, unable to jump to lap 10, we need to get rid of Piastri. He's very close. We set a new fastest lap of the race as well on these medium compound tyres. Around the outside at turn 1, it seems to be, that's where the Williams seem to be vulnerable. We are now up to P2. Now we've got DRS. Now it's about getting past Verstappen. On to the penultimate lap though. Verstappen's got a brilliant exit out the final corner up to the line, but now we're going to open the DRS, got ERS, another new fast lap of the Grand Prix. We're going to fly through. Verstappen keeps it down the inside. It's almost so close to making contact there, but we have made the move for the race lead as well. Verstappen will be fuming because he led. He was dominating this race for Red Bull, and now his teammate's engine failure has cost him the win there. For now, as Tictum has a go at Vettel, but he's still unable to get past. No points for Tictum. We are going to come through for maximum points on our debut for Mercedes. The car was there for me. Verstappen and Piastri will complete the top 3, but I will definitely take that. A race win. This is exactly what we need in the hunt for a 4th straight Drivers' World Championship. Constructors will definitely be a little tougher.
Sterling effort from the team and a magnificent drive to secure victory here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I think we'll chalk this one up to a deft touch on the brake pedal. That's allowed them to challenge down the inside into the braking zones, and ultimately, if you do that often enough, you end up winning the race. It was great to watch as well though, wasn't it? Forget strategy, forget tyre management. Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned scrap?
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
Oh yes, this is a good way to start the season. Definitely for Mercedes, who, the car, that team has had such a horrible time of it in this driver career mode series. Only winning a handful of races by George Russell. Now we've come into the team, we've taken the team to the top on our debut race. Tictum, he's an F2 driver. You've got to think if Russell was in there, he'd be fighting for the win as well. That is going to be harder though, that he is defected to Aston Martin as well. So obviously we lead the constructors standings, the driver's standings to Red Bull. And we also have a 4-point lead in the constructors to McLaren. Tsunoda scoring points is an issue, because if McLaren can get Tsunoda scoring points consistently, then that eradicates the problem they've been having at the end of last season, where it was just Norris scoring points and Tsunoda not. As well, we're now leading our rivalry as well over George Russell, as we now lead 7-3 in the early stages, hoping to make that reward as well. Driver claim up to level 21 now. So yes, that is where I'm going to leave today's driver career video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. See plenty more F122 and F123 driver career videos as when they come up. All will be revealed by F123 just before the game comes out as well. Australia and China will be out later this week, so stay tuned for those. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thank you much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.